Get ready for the show, it's about to begin. Pro fan talk when we dive right in. Sports talk, hot takes, ain't nothing we lack. We the real fans, nothing holding us back. Mic check, 1, 2, y'all know the drill. We bringing the energy, we keep it real. Touchdowns on liquid air, on the slam dunks on the court. Every sport, every game, we holding down the fort. We breaking down the plays, dissecting the stats. Pro fan talk, we keeping it fat. Debating with passion, no filter, no doubt. We the voice of the fans, we scream and we shout.
What's going on, good people? Happy Tuesday to you. What is happening? We got a lot of things going on in the WNBA. I got the multi-view going on. I'm looking at the Mystics, the Mystics in Seattle, New York, and who are they playing? I can't even remember who New York is playing. I think that game is over. New York just won that game. And Connecticut and LA. Well, it was a tight game. LA had taken the lead by 1, and now Connecticut just rattled off a couple points. So now it's a 7-point lead, 66 to 59. It's 77 to 74. Seattle and Washington. Seattle's got a 3-point lead, and Mystics just turned the ball over. And I do believe this New York game, New York and Dallas, is over. I haven't even checked the box scores and everything. You can only do so much with the multi-view. But what's going on, everybody, man? What's going on? Daniel Barry, first out the limo. Independent Aquaman is in the building already, launching and coming in hard. What's good with you, man? A lot of stuff going on. Let me take this off, man. The one thing that I've noticed, you realize very quickly who are the best broadcasters for the W, because when you have the multi-view on, you got to mute. You can't have all the channels going at the same time. You just get a wall of noise. So you got to figure out which game you want to listen to. And it really shows. Yeah, New York 94, Dallas 74. Damn, 20-point game. Dallas, man. For all the talk that and Arike is one of my top favorite players, but Dallas has only got like 6 wins this season. They struggling. And they just signed that girl, what's her name? Sabali. Not much help. So Mystics are giving the Storm a game. Let's see if they can pull that out. You got 1:05 left with Seattle and Washington. And it looks like Washington, are they going to the free throw line? I can't tell. I think Seattle's bringing the ball in. So LA, I think this is over. I think they're starting to take over. Let me see. Now this game is over. So yeah, it is what it is. Oh, Seattle just scored. 5-point game. And it looks like Connecticut is starting to pull away from LA. Somebody pissed off. LA coach is in the middle of the floor going off on somebody. Oh, he just got thrown out. He got teed up. He got thrown out the game. LA coach just got thrown out the game. Okay. Not sure what happened. He ain't happy about it. Let me see what happened. Let me see what happened with this. Hold tight. Yeah, so he just got thrown out the game. He stepped on the court to tell the ref it was a foul, and the game was going on. So literally, he stepped on the court in front of the ref to let him know he didn't like the non-call. So, but that's funny. But I tell you what, with the way these refs call games, I understand because these refs are god awful. We've talked about that before. Let me see something here. Right here. So my left side, I need a little bit more light over here. Let's turn that on. Turn that up. There we go. That's too bright. Shit. There we go. So yeah, man. So what's going on? Just check. So basically, Washington decided to help out Minnesota, and Phoenix have a chance to beat Caitlin's Fever if Indiana makes it to the finals this season. I mean, that's what you do to make runs. I don't understand what Lynn Dunn is doing or not doing. I don't understand why you want to keep. You got Erica Wheeler, you got Wallace, you got Saxton, you got Berger, you got some other Nelissa Smith. Like I don't. Is she perfectly happy with this team? Because she ain't making no moves, and we've heard before that she's kind of favors the veterans. So she ain't making no moves. All I know is, the big news with Gabby Williams going to Seattle. So that's a good get. She didn't play tonight. She'll probably play by the end of the week. So we should see her this weekend. That's definitely going to help out Seattle because she's ready. She's not rusty or anything like that. And then you got Maisha Hines Allen. She just signed with Minnesota. So now you got Hines Allen and Fee Collier on the same squad. So now I'm assuming they're not going to play both of them at the same time, but when Fee Collier comes out and Hines Allen comes in, that's another problem. So, it seems like a couple of teams made some moves and they got better. Indiana didn't. So I don't know. I guess Lynn, she good with what she got. That's what it comes down to. She is comfortable with what she got right now. And she wants to stick with that. And that's okay. That's okay. Let me see something real quick. Performance or quality? I don't know. Let me check this out. Why am I looking so bad over here? Well, anyways, let's do it anyway. So let's check out everything that's happened today. Of course, at the top of the list, you got Gabby Williams signing a rest of the season contract with the Seattle Storm. That's a good get by Seattle. She was the one that everybody wanted coming out of the Olympics. So good move by her. Sika Kone was traded from Minnesota to the Mystics. Olivia Ipopa was traded from Minnesota to the Mystics. And they made all of those moves so they could get Maisha Hines Allen from Washington. So that happened. Dee Richards was waived. And then Olivia Ipopa was waived. So they just traded her and cut her. Well, that's the nature of the beast right there. Monique Billings signed a 7-day contract with Phoenix. and Seattle released Kiana Williams. So it's a lot of moving and shaking. And this is when stuff gets kind of like NFL cut day. So like I understand this feeling when they moving and shaking, and there's a lot of people getting promoted to fan. So they'll be watching the games on TV by this weekend. And it's a shame because there's some people that probably shouldn't be cut. But that's the way that it goes. And this is the nasty part of the business. This is the nasty part of the business. So you just got to deal with it, keep it moving, keep your head up, all them other cliches that everybody say. This is the part of the business that's very, very ugly. Because there is always, I don't care what sport you play, there is always plenty of people that should be in the league, and there's probably plenty of people that shouldn't be. So I hope all of them people get hooked up, get picked up, something like that. So we'll see what happens. Fever should have better backups. Aquaman, I agree with you. Yes, they should, but they don't. And I hope it don't come back to bite them, but it probably will. Because everybody's, we going off the Lexie Hull game. Lexie Hull goes crazy, 6 for 7 from 3, 22 points. Of course, you don't expect that from her. But if you think back a week or so before the Olympic break, Katie Lou Samuelson, she had a hot day and was, hit 3 threes, and I forget how many points she had, but, she hit a couple of clutch shots. So, excuse me. So everybody has a day like that. Excuse me. Everybody's going to have a day like that. Yeah, if you waiting, Professor, I understand that, but if you waiting for Lucy Olson ain't going to help you this year. You have a finite opportunity to advance in the playoffs. You don't know what's going to happen. Knock wood or whatever. You pray that you don't have any catastrophic injuries. You pray something don't happen to Kelsey or something happen to AB or Caitlin Clark. You just pray. I tell you what, I give all the props in the world to Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, Camila Cardoso, anybody that played in that NCAA tournament, especially if you played on the team that went into the Sweet 16 or better yet, Elite 8 or Final 4. And you're looking at Caitlin Clark, she played all the way to the championship game. Her and Cardoso. Cardoso gets hurt early, but for the most part, Caitlin Clark has been pretty decent and taking care of herself. And again, knock on wood, because I'll say that, and then something happens. So I'm not, you got to be careful with that, man. And you never know what can happen. So you always make moves so you can get better today. But if Lynn Dunn thinks that she got what she needs, and as far as Erica Wheeler's been getting less and less time, Wallace has been getting next to no time. So Berger hasn't played much, and who else is the other girl? Sexton. She hasn't played much. So you just hope that it's not a situation where, like Celeste Taylor, and you got a diamond in the rough back there, and you got a coach that just won't play. So I don't know what's going on. I don't know how good Berger is. I don't know how good Sexton is, because I ain't seen them. So I have no point of reference. I've not seen them. So I think Melissa Smith started off good this year, and it just kind of petered off. It just kind of a slow, gradual decline. But if they keep running this up-tempo offense the way they've been doing, or the way they should be doing, they'll be fine. But who knows what Christy Sides is going to do going forward. But it's about to get tight. It's about to get real tight because everybody's trying to jockey for position to make a run in the playoffs. Like I said, Seattle got a good player. Minnesota got a good player. And you don't ever hear, as much as people might not like Cheryl Reeves is a championship coach. Becky Hammond in Las Vegas is a championship coach. The girl Brondello in New York, championship coach. I didn't even realize Brondello played in the WNBA years ago for Australia. Never knew that. But they've got some gravitas over there. So they better make some moves. Somebody hit me up on Facebook. Image. So yeah, they got some holes to fill, and they better be ready to go. Because if I'm another team and I'm looking at Indiana, you see where you need to attack. They'll go right back to what they was doing at the beginning of the year, double teaming Caitlin Clark and forcing the ball to go to either Kelsey Mitchell or whoever else. Because you can get a ball to Kelsey Mitchell, and as long as you're not getting the ball down low to Aaliyah Boston, and even if it does, there's certain strategies you can do. If you can get your positioning on Aaliyah Boston and make her get the ball up high, she can be in the paint. But if she's in front of that key and she has to dribble a couple of times, her percentage is going to go down because she's putting the ball on the ground. And when you watch Aaliyah Boston, whenever she has to dribble, whenever she gets to that third dribble, it's going to be trouble. Remember I said that. And when you watch her play, when she gets the ball down low and she's in the spot where she has to dribble to get herself out or get herself down to the glass, watch what happens when she hits that third dribble. She should get two dribbles and you go up. But we'll see. Lexie Hull was known as a shooter. I could see Indiana making a playoff run. Let's be honest. If nobody expected Lexie Hull to go off like that, so you're not going to expect her to do it again. Realistically, I want to see Lexie Hull get maybe 10, 12 points a game. To me, that's realistic. Every now and then she's going to get a pass. We're going to catch her under the basket. But is she going to get hot from deep again? That remains to be seen. Or is she going to take a couple steps in and hit that mid-range? So we'll see, because she's definitely going to get another opportunity. So we'll see what happens. Let's see if she can be consistent with it. Size needs to play them even if they lose because they need depth for the playoffs. Not necessarily. Not necessarily. You got your lineup. Run with the lineup, because they've had a couple of blowout first half leads. They couldn't keep them. But my point is that's going with this same lineup, whether we like it or not, is what got Indiana some of these big leads and got some of these wins. So for all of the bitching and moaning and nitpicking we do about Christy Sides, she been winning. So you can only go so far with that. We might not like how she's doing it, but it's paying dividends. So complaints turn into nitpicks real quick if you get the results that you want. So it's a weird situation to be in, because I'm with you. I complain about her lineups, but I will say this: a lot of times, and it's been a couple of games, more than a couple of games. I'm talking about it's been at least 5 or 6 games that Indiana has played where them losing had nothing to do with Christy Sides. It had everything to do with they not being able to put the ball in the basket on the court. Christy Sides don't shoot free throws, set picks, hit jumpers. She don't shoot from 3, none of that. So if the ladies on the court ain't making shots. Ain't nothing Christy Sides can do. Never expected the Fever to even make it to the finals this season. Yeah, even if the reffing were perfect. Well, you know that ain't gonna happen. Still ain't the best, but I won't be surprised if they do. Listen, here's what I say as far as them. How far are you gonna go in the playoffs? And this is how you got to look at it. And this is a football analogy, but to me, it applies to every sport. As long as you get to the playoffs, once you get there, whatever your record is irrelevant because anything can happen. What happens if Lexie Hull gets hot again? Maybe instead of going 6 for 7, she goes 4 for 5. But she's still responsible for 18, 20 points or something like that. As long as you get there, as long as you in the room, once you in the room, the record, everybody's 0-0. Everybody's 0-0. Doesn't matter what you did during the season, what your shooting percentage was, all of that crap goes out the window. Because the only thing that matters is what happens going forward. What happens if somebody's best defender goes down? What happens if somebody, fractures a finger or something? Anything can happen. So the only thing you got to do is get there. Kelsey Mitchell's been in this league. This is her 6th year in the league. She ain't never been to the playoffs. This is going to be her first year in the playoffs. So she's going to be trying to make the most of this. Like my thoughts. Not happy about Seattle getting Gabby. Hope it doesn't pay off as she walks. I think she will at the end of the year, depending on how things go in the playoffs. Will determine if they try to sign her to like an additional 2 years and stuff like that, because everybody wants to get signed up. And veteran players are trying to play wait and see, because I don't think the new CBA has been done yet. So a lot of things are going to happen because teams are going to be trying to get players on sale. And what I mean by that is you get these players signed now because you know the price is going to go up later. You already know that. So I would imagine that there might be something in the CBA that says, hey, whatever your existing contracts are, you got to bump it up 3.5% or whatever it is. So it balances out to what the new money is. Now you're probably going to have something like that. But if you're locked into a 4-year deal and you have an opportunity to make even more, you're going to go for that bag. That's the situation that Kelsey Mitchell's going to be in. So really a big factor in whether she thinks about coming back to Indiana or not is what they do in the playoffs. Does it look like her and Caitlin Clark and Aaliyah Boston can really make some noise in the playoffs and really shake some things up and advance and maybe get to the second, possibly third round? I don't know. But that's gonna make that decision, because that'll say, okay, maybe we do have something together and we just a few pieces short. So we'll see. Yeah, I agree. Shorter rotation. You got to load your gun every game. You got to go with your big hitters every game. So you ain't trying to get somebody some PT in the playoffs. It's too late for that. Yeah, I saw that. Good. I want to see everybody get paid, man. I want to see all these arenas sold out. I want to see what the TV deals is, what the viewership is what everybody's looking at, though. It's great that they selling out the arenas, but they got 19 grand up in there. That's what's up. It's slowly but surely everybody jumping on board. And that's exactly what you need. So let's see if it'll happen somewhere else. The viewership and the ratings is still every time you get Caitlin Clark somewhere, it spikes. Everybody else is just kind of meandering. Las Vegas Aces is still the best show, the best ticket that doesn't involve Caitlin Clark. Las Vegas Aces, I think they are hovering around. They usually get somewhere around 800 to 900,000 viewers. I know versus the Lynx, Minnesota, they got 830,000 or something like that viewership on Ion or something. So, and I think that's coming off the strength of what they did in the Olympics. That matters. So they're gonna keep growing. Like I said, I want to see them, Troy. I'm with you, man. I want to see them pack them arenas, man. I want everybody to eat. I want everybody to eat, man. So let me see. I'm trying to write down my notes here, so I got like a little checklist of things we talked about that. So, but yeah, man, it's I want everybody to eat. So I want these places packed. So, yeah, I mean, you're right. I understand what the Caitlin Clark experience is and the effect and all of that kind of stuff. But at this point, it's water under the bridge. Everybody knows what it is, whether they deny it or not, whether they don't want to talk about it or not. You know what I mean? So they're, for the most part, it seems like the optics are most people are just they're good with it and let's just keep it moving forward. And then every time an event happens, everybody wants to pick sides. And it's like, man, just let them play. Like, enough with the bullshit. Just let them play. Like, even with the situation with Noelle Quinn and the whole situation with her and Christy Sides and all that kind of stuff, and Caitlin Clark pumping up the people in front of the bench. I mean, that happens all the time. It happens all the time. So why is it such a big deal? Because she does it. And there's people, you know, I even heard what was that, David Portnoy? I was like, come on, dog. Every time somebody bumps Caitlin Clark, it's assault. And I'm like, stop. Like, stop. I'm saying that as a Caitlin Clark fan. Y'all need to stop the bullshit. Because these girls go out there and they ball. And it's physical, and they get thrown on the ground and heads smacked and busted in the nose and in the eye and all of that stuff, man. These girls are here to play ball. These women ain't playing. But when you see something like that, oh, it's assault. Like, stop with that. Stop with that. That's trying to insinuate stuff and throw, you know, gas on the fire. Just like the dude, whoever asked that question against asked that question to Jewel Lloyd after Indiana beat him. How the hell is she supposed to track Caitlin Clark's progress as a rookie? And she had the perfect answer. I can tell you about our rookies. But that's people asking questions because they want a viral moment so they can put it on, you know, Twitter and all of that kind of stuff, man. It's to the point it gets sickening. And I say that, I always preface it by saying, I say that as a Caitlin Clark fan because I know what it is I'm looking at because I've seen it before. I saw it with Tiger Woods. I saw it with Danica Patrick. I saw it with Dale Earnhardt Jr. It was the same thing. You got that young star that come in and they just thrust them in the limelight and pretty much give them everything. And a lot of people resent that, especially when you're talking about people that have been grinding and never get that opportunity or never get that limelight. Yeah, they're going to resent it. But that's part of the game, and that's part of the nasty game that people don't like. But it is what it is. It is what it is. Yeah, S-Dub, it's gonna be interesting this year. I really want to see what happens, and I want to be able to look at the language in the new collective bargaining agreement because that's what's going to set everything off. So literally, when I say I want to see everybody eat, that is what's going to make it happen. That's going to tell you how much people are getting paid. That's going to tell you how much the veterans get based on how long they've been a member of the league. That's going to determine the new minimum salary for rookies coming in, years signed. Obviously, with some of this stuff with De'Erica Hamby, they're going to have other new stipulations as far as maternal health care, All of that kind of stuff is on the table. All of it's on the table. So, and I even saw, and this is going back to the, what they're going to put in the CBA. Dejanay Carrington was talking about promoting their own event because it wasn't going to be on TV. And everybody was like, well, it should be. It is on TV. It's being streamed and all of that kind of stuff. So I don't think she was 100% correct. I don't think it was going to be on network television. I think that's what she was trying to say. It wasn't on ESPN or something like that. Because at the end of the day, it's great that they drew 19,000 and they packed the house. However, we still got to wait till them ratings come out. And the biggest problem that the WNBA has when it comes to ratings is just like tonight. You got 3 games going on at the same time. You got to pick one. So automatically your audience is split. And you don't have the biggest audience like the NBA has. You don't have that yet. You're working on it and you're getting there, but you splitting your audience. And you splitting the audience when your main attraction isn't playing. So there's only so much you can do about that. So this is at Troy Hall. Caitlin isn't the only talent in the W. She brought eyes to the sport to where we recognize the game of other players. Shout out to the Connecticut Sun. Absolutely. Absolutely. It was for the first 4 weeks of the season, I was like, yo, DeWanna Bonner she should be in that conversation for the MVP. She's fell off since then. But I'm just saying, I wouldn't have known who she was if not for, to your point, everything that's going on with Caitlin Clark and you watching. There is a trickle-down effect. And that trickle-down effect is why me, personally, and I think a lot of other people look at how some of these women are acting and reacting to Caitlin Clark in the league. And you look at them like, do y'all really understand how much money this woman is bringing into y'all? Do y'all understand that let's not get it twisted whatsoever, she is the biggest reason that y'all got that price tag up to $2.2 billion over 11 years. Caitlin Clark, she is the biggest reason. I didn't say the only reason, but she is the biggest reason. Just like, and we got receipts to prove it. Just like back in the day when Michael Jordan came in the league, he was the biggest reason. Magic and Bird, the biggest reason they got the NBA out of that funk. I love telling that story that Magic, I'm going to have to get it and play it one time for you. When Magic tells the story of when he won his first title, his rookie year with the Lakers, they rushed back to the hotel so they could actually watch the game on tape delay. That's how bad their ratings were back in the 70s. Back when you still had, wristbands, tube socks, and big afros. You had the Dr. J afros and Lou Alcindor before he became Kareem, all of that type of stuff. It was so bad that you won the title. You won an NBA title and went back to your hotel room to watch it. Watch it on replay. So literally you were in the locker room, celebrated, got back to the bus, drove through traffic, and got back to your room in time to see it. That's like, this era of fans don't really understand what that's about, and they don't understand how bad it was. And sometimes I think the WNBA and some of the players, they are kind of oblivious. But everybody wants to say, yeah, but I was here too. And it's like, stop with that. That ship has sailed. It don't matter that you was here first. It don't matter. That's like going to a bank and somebody's going to write you a check for $1 million and you say, I don't want it from them. I want that person to give it to me. Well, that person ain't got the $1 million for you. You can only get it from this person. And you're going to cop an attitude because you don't like the person writing the check. That's what it seems like some of these women are doing. Like, stop it. Get your money, get your paper, and keep it moving. Build the league up. Aquaman says, it's why I switched to becoming a fan of her teammate Aaliyah Boston, despite playing deficiency. I like Aaliyah Boston. I like Aaliyah Edwards better, but I like Aaliyah Boston. Aaliyah Edwards, Rickea Jackson. They get overshadowed a lot, especially Rickea Jackson. Rickea Jackson's been balling. She's averaging what, 13 a game now or something like that. She's been playing pretty well. But because you hear about it every day, it's Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark, Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese. They just go back and forth. So everybody else gets buried. That's the nature of the beast. That's how it goes. Not going to feel sorry for them, but, you know. Well, Troy, let's keep it a buck. Let's keep it a buck. A lot of them games, we are just now getting to the point where you're getting sellouts on a more consistent level, because it wasn't like that before. People were trying to play it up like that, because I watched the games in the beginning, and it was one of those things where you know how you go to a minor league baseball game and they say you have a sellout crowd, but you see all the empty seats. Somebody bought the tickets. That doesn't mean everybody showed up, because what they do that so they can pump up the numbers. Like, I've been to games before where they tell you it was a sellout crowd and you look around and you like, really? Because it's about who shows up. Deion Sanders bitched about that when he was at Jackson State. He's like, hold on, because now you affected my money. How you going to tell me that we sold out and I still see 13,000 seats empty or something, like, or whatever the situation was? So a lot of times what they do is, I don't know if it's partnership groups or whatever, they'll buy up the remaining seats. They'll buy up the tickets and they'll try to give the tickets away because somebody bought the tickets, it's a sold out game. So they play the game like that all the time. Because I know for a fact, a couple of them games I was watching early in the season, they said it was a sellout. And then you look, I know how to look beyond the first rung of seats, because the camera's got to go up there at some point in time, and all you got to do is catch a quick peek. And it's like, they ain't sell that out. Or what was happening with like Chicago and a couple other teams. And it was like, yeah, we've been selling out. Yeah, we've been selling out. It was like, well, hold on. You in the 8,000 seat arena. Yeah, okay, you sold out. But it's not what you trying to portray it to be. That's the way it was in the beginning. Now it's getting better. And it was only a matter of time, because I don't know who said that to their point. Everybody's figuring out other people to watch. Now you got the people. Now you got the casual fans. Me, I count myself as somebody that was invested in the WNBA this year. Only this year. I watched a little bit. You've heard that story before. I've watched a little bit. I was invested in the NCAA for the past 2 seasons. I knew names, teams, all of that kind of stuff. And I was invested in the WNBA. I spent my money. I bought merch. I bought the league pass or whatever. Never done that before. You only spend money if you want to spend money. You got to be invested in it. And I was. But here's the difference. Here's part of the reason why Caitlin Clark is so important. But the other half of that equation that people forget. Caitlin Clark is the biggest draw. You got to have somebody or some person, some star that's going to attract the casual viewer, the person that doesn't watch it, the person that doesn't care. Here's a prime example. Me and my wife were talking one day, and I said, do you know, I don't know the players, but I'm saying it like this just for the brevity. Do you know who Nalissa Smith is? Do you know who Arike Ogunbowale is? Do you know who Katie Lou Samuelson is? Do you know who Caitlin Clark is? How many names do you think she recognized? Only Caitlin Clark. She only knew Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. That's it. So those are the names. Why you think they on everything? Because those are the names that can get people watching and get your attention and get people spending money, because I recognize those names. Do you think everybody that likes Michael Jordan follows basketball? Hell no. Hell no. Michael Jordan became a default. If you didn't know nothing, what's a good example? When the video game craze hit, and then you had Madden and you had 2K and you had all of these games where everybody wanted to play, right? If the person didn't watch, all of them kids that was playing them video games, when I was playing them games, I didn't necessarily watch the NBA like that. I didn't necessarily watch Major League Baseball like that. But if I was playing baseball, I wanted to make sure if the game had a home run derby mode, I wanted Big Papi or Jose Canseco or Mark McGuire or Barry Bonds. I knew the names that I wanted. If you was playing basketball, you always wanted Michael Jordan. You wanted the Chicago Bulls. So that was the default, because it gets people that aren't necessarily interested in the nuts and bolts of the game. We follow it, and I'm following trades, and I can rattle off names and all of that kind of stuff. I couldn't do that last year. And most people can't. But the people who can't spend the money, now, what I'm saying is the people that can't recognize names but still spend money, that is the win that the WNBA is looking for. That's the win. I can get your money and you don't care, but you want to buy your daughter a jersey. That's how it works. That's what Caitlin Clark brings to the game. That's what Angel Reese brings to the game. And now Gabby Williams, because everybody watched the Olympics. S-Dub says, I'm from Boston in LA now, but my mom and wish the team was in Boston, not Connecticut. Yeah. So we can see a game. They kept mentioning that tonight on the broadcast about how close they were to Boston. Because I guess where they play tonight, that's where the Celtics play. Is that correct? The Mystics have been like that all year, man. They play well, but can't finish. No, I do not. And the only reason I say that is because I'm not going to say that based on one good game by Lexie Hull. Now, if you want to say Caitlin Clark and Kelsey Mitchell, that's got some gravity to it. That's got a little weight to it, but not Lexie Hull, because Lexie Hull is not consistent. We saw one good game. Everybody has a great game. Everybody. What was that? I remember when Caitlin Clark was still at Iowa, and that game where Hannah Stuelke had like 42 or something like that, or maybe she had 52. Whatever it was, Hannah Stuelke just went nuts and never did it again. She had good games, but a good game for her, 15, 20 points. Because she's a player that has to be fed. Somebody has to get her the ball. Just like Angel Reese. Somebody has to get her the ball for her to be successful. She can't make her own shots. She's not crossing anybody over and popping the J. She's trying to. I noticed that she's getting out in mid-range a lot more, trying to hit jumpers, just not falling yet. It'll come, but she just ain't got that skill set yet. But she's trying. So, no to that. I don't see no splash sisters out of Lexie Hull. I got to see at least 4 to 5 more games of Lexie Hull making an impact on offense. She's good on defense. But I need to see if she can make some type of contribution on offense past what she just did, because this next game is going to really show something, because she's coming off an emotional high. She has never played that well before. So she's on an emotional high, And usually after games like that, you have a crash. So this next game, Saturday, when they play Minnesota, if she gets double digits, 10 and above, I'm good with Lexie Hull. She's done what she needed to do. I don't expect her to go crazy like that all the time. Every now and then, maybe she'll get up to 16, 18 points or something like that. She'll get a hot hand, or for whatever reason, they'll leave her alone and Caitlin Clark can find her under the basket. Things like that. That's bound to happen. But I need to see 3, 4, 5 more games of her consistently getting 10 to 15 points a game. And then we can talk. Mystics are not good. Agreed. And I feel bad because I really like Aaliyah Edwards, and she's getting good players on bad teams. Kelsey Mitchell, and yes, agreed. What's up, Los Dodgers? Caitlin isn't making these ladies relevant. Agreed. Everybody's got that we were here first attitude, and my argument to that is Asia Wilson is the best player in the WNBA right now. That is not up for argument. However, Asia Wilson has never required a team to go to a bigger venue. Neither has Diana Taurasi. Neither has Fee Collier. Neither has Kelsey Plum. And at one point, Kelsey Plum was the NCAA all-time leading scorer. So, yeah, you got phenomenal players in the WNBA as it exists right now, but they have never had the appeal that Caitlin Clark has had. The only person I can say that about is Candace Parker when she came in the league. That's it. So you got to get while the getting's good, strike while the iron's hot, all that other kind of stuff. And that's what the WNBA is doing. And not for nothing. I thought about this today. We talked about a little bit of this yesterday, I believe. Let's not forget that for 28 years, and this year, so this will be, is this 28th or the 29th year, whatever, the 28th year, I think it is, the WNBA has been losing money. They've been losing money as a business. And what that means is the WNBA as a business entity does not have all of their ducks in a row. They don't have a big media team. They don't have all of that kind of stuff, because I think we did talk about this last night when everybody's complaining about how come we can't be on ESPN, and how come we're not hearing about all of this stuff, and how come they didn't get with the social media for Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark and all these other people with millions of social media followings before they got into the W. They ain't got the capacity to do that. I would guess that they don't have the staff to do that. They make enough money to pay the staff that they have. They can't go above and beyond. Don't get it twisted. They didn't want to get jets this year. They didn't want to get the private planes this year. They didn't want to do that. But they had to spend that money. So let's remember that this was a organization, a business that was struggling to tread water. And they had the floaty devices that provided by the NBA in a tune to $40 million a year. So now, at least going forward, they don't have to be subsidized by the NBA anymore. They can tread water on their own. So going forward, once the CBA is in the mix, can they hire a bigger marketing team? Can they hire better broadcasters and things of that nature? We'll see. Those are the moves that Kathy Engelbert needs to make going forward, because you got the money now. So now you got to put a better product on TV and everywhere else. So we'll see what they're going to do. Nika Mule is the Grace Burger of Seattle. Damn. Aquaman, I do watch Adrienne Ross. I like her. I like her content. I'm trying to reach out to her to see if I can get her on the cast and we can talk about it. There's a couple of content creators that I would love to collab with to talk about the dub. But I do like Adrian Ross's content. Adrian Ross correctly pointed out that the physical abuse the WNBA were doing to each other before Caitlin Clark showed up was more than the NBA, but noticeably less than after Caitlin did. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair because the NBA is a soft league now. You don't want your stars to get hurt. So it's a soft league. And the WNBA plays more physical basketball than the NBA does. And I think that's an underlying issue of why a lot of men in the media and stuff like that have a very difficult time trying to quantify what they're seeing, which is why somebody like Dave Portnoy, yes, he just wants to make some noise, but when Skylar Diggins-Smith bumps Caitlin Clark, that's not assault. When Kennedy Carter hip checks Caitlin Clark, I don't call that assault either. That's just a cheap shot. Now, if she's walking to the locker room and somebody catches her in the eye, that's assault. That's assault. When what's the guy that Draymond, when Draymond Green punched his teammate at practice, that's assault. So there's a very clear line in how things go down, but I give credit to Caitlin Clark and her team. She's been, because I saw the article about her not going on The View after they wanted to pay her $1 million, and she was like, not a big fan, don't want to get involved in that. And then I saw somebody put a post up like, oh, she thinks she's too good to take the money and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, smart move not getting involved with politics, because they trying to stick her into politics all the time. All of these channels, I'm not even going to mention them, but you already know who they are. All these channels, every time somebody does something to Caitlin Clark, you get all these people come out the woodworks, and then you start hearing those phrases that highlight the isms that everybody want to jump into. And it's like, it's not that serious, but everybody wants to, they want to walk through hell with gasoline draws on, man. They want to throw gas on that fire. And it's like, she's been doing a very good job avoiding that. So, just because, and I heard this before, after everything went down with Noelle Quinn and Christy Sides and all of that kind of stuff, now you start hearing these words about acting like a thug and all of that kind of stuff. And I know what those trigger words are, and I know what they mean. And I know I know when somebody's saying it without saying it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm saying all that to say Caitlin Clark has done a pretty good job avoiding all of that stuff. The people are going to say what they want to say regardless, but she hasn't fallen into that. I was worried that Angel Reese was going to fall into that because she got a bad habit of, I want to be the Barbie and the bad bitch and say what I got to say. Okay, but you got to be careful because your profile now, people going to call you on that. And everybody ain't going to like what you have to say. When she said that, I'll be the villain and all of that kind of stuff. Yeah, you can do that. But you just got to understand your coach can't protect you like Kim Mulkey did in LSU, in Louisiana. Coach can't protect you. Weatherspoon can't protect you like that no more. You fair game. Kim Mulkey protected her when she didn't show up for school for 2 weeks and everybody was wondering if she was even going to play. And you had all of these rumors she was beefing with her mom was beefing with somebody else's mom. It was a whole bunch of crap. People forget that. And Angel Reese is quick to, it's me too. I was there too. Well, you also was about some BS too that last year. So let's not forget that. And all of the stuff that Kim Mulkey was about, and there was a lot of turmoil there. And people will call you on the carpet. Kim Mulkey was threatening to sue people, and then come to find out the dude just wrote a regular old story about her that was actually pretty good. And then you didn't hear nothing more. She didn't apologize, none of that. She just tried to stop talking about it and let it go away because it was embarrassing. So that's the ugly part of being mainstream now. And the WNBA, and for the most part, Kathy Engelberg, they got to figure out the best way to deal with this, because the NBA and other teams that do make a ton of that money, they've got public relations coaches. They got people that can write a speech for you when you say something stupid, and here, read this prepared statement. And they got all the people that can handle your social media for you and scrub stuff off of it. They got money. They got long money that can do that. The WNBA has just opened the door to stuff like that. They've never had it like that. So I would imagine it's like being on a brand new job. You really don't know what to do. Somebody got to tell you, okay, this is what I need you to do. You know, they know you qualified, but until you get on site or get in your office, somebody needs to explain to you exactly what you got to do. That's what the WNBA is right now. They got a lot of stuff to figure out because they got to put a better overall production together for next year. Because for the next 5 years, they got ringers coming out. They got all these young women coming out. Juju Watkins, Malaysia Fulwiley, Hannah Hidalgo, Paige Beckers. I did good this time. I said Paige, not Kate. Paige Beckers. She's going to be number one. So she's going to be the hot hand next year. So they got, it's coming. It's coming. And in my opinion, keep your Kiki Iriafen. Is that her name? Kiki Iriafen. Let me see if I can show y'all this real quick. Because I'm putting together a video. Not about her, Kiki Iriafen, Toby Fournier, Ashlyn Watkins. And there's a couple others that I didn't know about, but I'm checking into that. In here. So this one right here. So I'm gonna bring y'all into this. I'm gonna bring y'all into this. This is what the WNBA needs right now. Oh, daggone it. It won't let me do it. Dang it. It doesn't, it won't, OBS won't recognize this video because it's on my, dang it. I can't use it as a second screen. Damn it. Basically, it's I'm working on this video about women coming in the WNBA that are going to be able to dunk. And I got like 3 ladies on here, and I found this footage of Kiki Iriafen dunking. And I mean, when I tell you it is impressive, it is impressive. Like, they're working out. So she's working on shots, just like, you know, your coach will pass you the ball and you step back, you got your points, maybe got taped down or whatever. You got your points. Somebody's got a shield that you can bounce off of for physical stuff. And she is taking a step back, putting the ball on the ground like she's being guarded and going up and just yanking it. And to me, stuff like that is realistic. Like what she's working on, I can see her doing that in the game. Coming off a pick and roll, getting the ball high, dribbling one time and going up on one leg, boom, and doing it. And she can dunk with 2 hands. And I'm not talking about barely getting over the rim. She is legit, and she's doing it with ease and consistency. She don't have to, you know, back up to half court and get a running start. She's doing it with consistency, and it's realistic. So I'm working on that right now because that's what the WNBA needs, and it's coming. It's coming. I'm so excited for that. Let me see. El Professor says Kelsey might be leaving the Fever next year, big dog. Yes, I saw that interview she did. Yes, she's a sharpshooter. I will be heartbroken too, but I talked about this a little bit last night. Is she going to want to win or is she going to go for the bag? Because it depends on where she goes. And the way she's played this year, there's going to be some teams that want her. So there's going to be a very good opportunity that she's going to go to a winner. I can see her going to New York or Vegas or Connecticut or even Minnesota. I can see one of those teams picking her up, but she is going to go to a winner because this will be the first time that she sniffed the playoffs since she's been in the league. And the money's going to be there. The bag is going to be there. Guaranteed. She'll be a sixth or seventh year veteran. She's going to make her money. But she's got to choose wisely because, and this is what I said earlier, depending on what they do this year, are they one piece away? Depending on what they do in the playoffs this year, are you going to be one player away from really making a run and trying to make it happen? It's a possibility. I'm including with betting companies and one. I mean, it probably was, but that was in the 70s. You could get away with that. You can't get away with that now in the era of social media. So you're not wrong, but things evolve. My opinion, CC is already rookie of the year and should be included in the MVP conversations. Even I know she would not get it, but her impact is there. That's fair. That's fair. I don't think here's what I'll say. Because now the question becomes, how do they judge their MVP, Luis? And thank you for that question. That's a good comment, by the way. How do they judge their MVP? Is it regular season? Is it regular season? When do they get that award? Is it a regular season award like it is in the NBA? Because for me, for Caitlin Clark to be in this conversation, I need to see what she's gonna do in the total of the year. Does she go crazy in the playoffs and just all of a sudden like, damn, I didn't see that coming, and she blows everybody out? Because right now she's playing good and she's setting records. So is Angel Reese, but you're not saying Angel Reese should be rookie of the year MVP, but they not winning. Indiana's winning. So it's fair. It's fair, but I think in the big scheme of things, I think let me say it like this. At this point in time, if she has another 2 or 3 games like she did against Seattle, I will be totally okay having that conversation. I'm with you. I don't think she'll win it, but the fact that she's even in the conversation is legit. I'll say it like that. Bird and Magic is the reason the NBA broadcast live games. First, yeah, Michael, the reason you can get endorsement deals, LeBron made it mobile. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Well, what I like to say is, and the one thing I always insert in, and you can't ignore it, Bird and Magic made everybody watch. But Jordan, in my opinion, is directly responsible for the ascension of ESPN. And ESPN made it a hallmark. ESPN had people up in the morning when they didn't want to wake up in the morning watching highlights. So Jordan and ESPN is a duo that came together and happened at the right time. Don't forget, ESPN was started in 1978, I believe. And it was fledgling and it was local and it wasn't a big deal. And then Michael Jordan happened. And then every sports center in the morning was a Jordan dunk or a Jordan highlight, and folks ate it up. And it just grew from there. So you got to stick that, because that's part of what made the NBA the NBA. You were old head like myself? Remember those tape delay games? Seattle Supersonics, Dennis Johnson, Gus Williams, Wash Bullets, Elvin Hayes, Wes Unseld. You old school, DJ. DJ Dog 31. You old school, bro. Hey, you can't have old school without cool. That's what I say. Sidney Moncrief. I ain't heard that name in a minute. Tickets for what? Which game are we talking about? Clark 22. Thank me for calling the spade a spade. You're welcome. You are welcome. I know I've been around enough, man. I know how the game works. I know when teams are always giving away tickets, trying to find some school or some youth organization to get the tickets to, because they still want to get the tickets away because then people are going to come in and buy popcorn so they make money at the concessions. It's all a business, man. It's all a business. Yeah, this is what's going to happen too. Especially if Caitlin Clark is coming to town, scalpers are going nuts. You already know. Kurt, let me be honest with you, man. And I've said this before. This is the first time I'm seeing you in the chat. So I appreciate you, and don't be a stranger. Make sure everybody hit that like button and subscribe. I know I'm bad about saying that and reminding folks, but please hit that like and subscribe. I like to have conversations and not a monologue. But Kurt, I had that train of thought early in the season. That was my opinion, that some of these women were coming at Caitlin Clark. Now, being a former professional athlete myself, playing in the NFL, I know what it means to be the number one pick in any sport. The target is on your back. So that comes with it. And it did look like, and this is kind of when I go back to what I said earlier about men trying to quantify what they're seeing when people are going at Caitlin Clark, hard fouls, hard play, all of that type of stuff. Now, having said all of that, it did look like folks was going after her. However, I always say this. What I had to do was go back and look at previous seasons. Go right on YouTube. There's enough content there. And I went back and looked at the previous seasons, and I was like, nah, they're not coming at her. It's always been like that. Always. The difference is she has the most eyes on her. So if you're looking for something, what do they say? If you driving down the street and someone tells you to look for a red car, you're going to see every red car that passes you. But before, you wasn't worried about it. If they tell you to look for a brown car, you'll find every brown car, but before, you wasn't worried about it. So it's a mental thing. She's the focus of the league. She is the number one draw. So all eyes are on her. So the optics are everybody's gunning for Caitlin Clark. They're fouling her too rough. They're assaulting her, and that's bullshit. Total bullshit. I don't buy it. Because I had that. They had me convinced. Then I had to let me pump my brakes a little bit and go do some homework. And when I saw what I saw, going all the way back to Candace Parker's rookie year and how they was playing and how they was scrapping, and I tell anybody, go back and look at Candace Parker versus Detroit versus the Detroit Shock. You can look it up on YouTube, and you can see that brawl that happened. They always been playing hard like that. So it wasn't because of Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark just magnified it. And again, the NBA is soft. The women now play like the NBA used to play, with the bad boys in Detroit and all of that stuff. So it wasn't people going after her. It was just that they play hard. And people got to get used to that. Dodgers, she's not overrated, man. I'm not gonna do that. And the reason I say that is people say that like Angel Reese and three other opponents are all standing around the rim and they just decide to let her go up and get the rebound. They're not doing that. Angel Reese is out hustling. I don't care what anybody say. I did a video months ago, and I said it then. Angel Reese needs to be the Dennis Rodman of the WNBA, and that's exactly what she's doing. She's not the biggest, strongest, or fastest, but what she does is out hustle everybody under the glass, period. That's what she does. I don't care if she missed her own shot. If she missed her own shot, then there was somebody else around that rim that could have grabbed that rebound and they didn't. So that's on them. So I'm not going to disregard what she's doing. I'm not going to disregard 20 rebounds in the game. Can't do it. Because if it was that simple, everybody would be doing it. And you got 3, 4, 5-year veterans. Hey, such and such got their first career double-double, and you've been in the league for 4 years, and you ain't never had double-digit points and double-digit rebounds or assists in a game. And this sister is doing it night after night after night. I can't discredit that. You might not like her. You might not like the way she go about her business, but you cannot disrespect her game because she put it down on the floor. And if it was that easy to do, everybody would be doing it. It's all good, man. Everybody's opinion is good, man. Y'all know my motto. I need to make t-shirts. Opinions are like assholes. Everybody got one. So Buckle, man. Over a decade ago, I tried watching the WNBA. Was boring to watch, especially with the players constantly missing the basket. It wasn't good. Absolutely. They started out good, and then it crashed. And they've been steadily trying to build themselves up, and then it crashed again because of COVID, and they steadily trying to build themselves up. Except this time, you had the right people in the right place, and you had the right recipe of players and rivals. The one thing I'll give Angel Reese credit for, she is part of the catalyst that started this. Yes, Caitlin Clark was going to break the all-time scoring record, whether she played LSU or not. But that moment just jumped off a whole bunch of stuff because everybody wanted to jump down Angel Reese's throat and unsportsmanlike and following her around and this, that, and the other. And the problem I had with that is that if you watch the games, and this is the thing that nobody said, and this is where you get into the colorism and favorism, and you gotta acknowledge it. You gotta acknowledge it. Because most people now don't even believe that Caitlin Clark talks mad shit. And I'm saying that as a fan. That girl talks mad smack. And she did in college. But they don't show that. So when Angel Reese gave her that same energy, everybody had a problem with it because they didn't see the other side. It's just like in the NFL, when you get flagged for unsportsmanlike conduct and you get a little shoving match with somebody on the other team, what do your coach always tell you? Don't retaliate because they always catch the second person doing it. And that's exactly what happened with Angel Reese. They didn't care that Caitlin Clark said what she said, waving off Raven, all of that stuff. They don't care about that. All of this, and Caitlin Clark talked mad shit. She can give it out with the best of them. And the one thing, when I first started following Caitlin Clark, the one thing that I had to respect about her was that game when they did lose, and people in the press conference asked her about that, and she said, like, yeah, I talk smack. We talk smack. That's what you do in the game. So she owned up to it. I was like, respect. LSU got in your ass that game, but you gave it a good effort. You just came up short. But I did what I did. They did what they did. They came out on top. And I was like, gotta respect that. And when you look at what's going on now and how some of these grown-ass women, as Diana Taurasi said, how they acting and reacting to Caitlin Clark coming up in here and busting their ass, like Unc said, you got to shake your head. It's like, what are y'all doing? Y'all supposed to be the ones that know how this works, and y'all acting like y'all mad at the world because this girl is coming in here and she's actually that good. Now you acting like you got an attitude. Like, stop playing and play ball. It's almost like being on the court and you get so mad that I'm taking my ball, go home. Well, y'all got to figure it out. That's what they act like. That's what they act like. So, there's pluses and minuses and hits and misses with everything. So, it is what it is. Yes, I did see that. I was watching the end of that on the multi-view when he jumped out in the middle of the court and tried to call a timeout and started cussing out the ref. That was hilarious. That one champion in Bronx. That's fair. First impressions. Because I remember I remember listening to the broadcast and I was like, yeah, y'all going a little extra. But to be fair, Angel did follow her around for a minute doing the same stuff. And it was because I was even like, all right, we get it. She did the move a couple weeks ago and you gave her back that same energy. That all is fair play. But why are you following her around? So even from that standpoint, it wasn't a good look on Angel's part. But she did it. And when you win, you can talk your talk. So, and mind you, the game was still going on. The game wasn't over yet. They still had a couple seconds left, and so turnabout is fair play. So you gave her back the same energy. It is what it is. You might not like how she went about it, but it is what it is. And when you in the court and you get the best, you can talk your talk. But Antoine, you're 100% right. I do agree. That's why a lot of people and a lot of Iowa fans turned on Angel Reese because they didn't like how she did it. And then she was like unapologetically and this, that, and the other. And then, of course, with the mixture of her and Kim Mulkey, because everybody don't like Kim Mulkey anyways. So it was, I understand that. I didn't necessarily agree with it. And again, I saw the isms come out. I saw the colorism and the favoritism. But it was what it was. So, but you're not wrong. Was that 47? Thank you, Kev. Yeah, she's usually good for 1-3 a game. So, like I said, man, we'll see what happens when they get going again. Is she going to be, because everybody's going to be looking at her now, and can she do that performance again, or at least get somewhere close? So, yeah, man, y'all hit that like button. I appreciate you. Appreciate the reminder, Aquaman. Thank you. Most of America is not. No, most of America does not hate Angel Reese. But when you talk about fandom, it does seem like that. So I understand what he was saying. And I'm not taking it literal. No, not literally. Most of America hates Angel Reese. Because it was clearly cut down the black-white lines. People that were the white folks from Iowa thought she was and then once again, K-Mill, you hear them words, them trigger words, that was thug behavior, unsportsmanlike, all of that kind of stuff. Nobody said anything when Caitlin Clark was talking all that cash shit. So that's why people say like that. And so I understand his point. I understand Antoine's point, and for the most part, he's right. It's not literal, but the optics of it seem that way. So it's not a dumb statement. I understand it. Read between the lines. Yeah, we talked. Yeah, Louise, we talked about that. I'm okay with her being in the conversation. The way she's been playing, me personally, I think give me about 2-3 more games. And let me tell you something. If she didn't have this freaking turnover issue, I would agree with you 100%. The turnovers is what's, the weights in her shoes, man. She gotta drop them turnovers. And I know a lot of them are not on her. But a lot of them are. So it is what it is. Mystics will be good next year. Deladon is coming back, I think, and they'll be overwhelming favorites to get. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it, bro. Worry about next year. A lot of people did, man. A lot of people did. A lot of people had buzz coming out of college. Kelsey Mitchell had buzz coming out of college. Kelsey Plum had buzz coming out of college. Everybody had buzz. But that's why even some of the stuff that Diana Taurasi said, people didn't like how she said it. Again, it's the optics. It's the optics. She's sitting on a panel with other UConn, and I remember that night it was UConn. It was, you got sick of hearing it. It was like there's other people on the court that didn't go to UConn. It just like it was, you got tired of hearing it. But essentially, what she said wasn't wrong. She wasn't wrong based on what she usually sees. She was not wrong. Even Cheryl Swoops, with her miscalculations and misspoken stuff that she did on Gilbert Arenas, her point wasn't wrong. She's going to struggle because you're not going to get as many shots as you did in college. And her reasoning was sound. The way she said it was batshit crazy. And it was because she didn't just do the basic amount of homework of looking at your phone just to make sure what you're saying was legit. And she didn't do that. And it made everything she say look foolish. When she was saying, oh, she's been in college for 5 years and she don't get all these shots per game. And she just started rattling off stuff that she thought, and she didn't bother to do no homework or have context. And it made every point she made, even though she had a legitimate point, it just made it all look like rubbish. So all of these people, all of these women coming out of college, all of them have buzz. All of them. Don't forget, Camila Cardoso was Chicago's first pick, not Angel Reese. So at the end of the day, doesn't matter where you picked. It's about what you do when you get on the court. So, yeah, Los, Asia's the MVP, hands down. Asia's the baddest girl on the planet right now. I don't care what anybody say. There's nobody that can. Asia's bad. She can defend. She can cross. She can hit a three. She can hit a mid-range. She can block your shot. Everything. There's nothing that Asia can't do. Let me see. Yeah, hit that like button, man. I need some more likes. That's not assault. It's just haterism. I like that. That sounds like a good T-shirt. Yeah. Clark has started the MVP race behind Asia and Stewie. Yeah. Stewie is another bad one. Stewie ain't no joke, man. That's 7-foot wingspan. People forget. I didn't even realize that Brianna Stewart was 6'4". She's 6'4" and got a 7-foot wingspan. So, and when she get hot, can't nobody stop her. I think, the one thing that these people have, and you're not wrong. You're not wrong. Because I thought, and I said this out loud before, I was worried that Angel Reese was going to talk her way into trouble. Because she got that attitude, and I can say what I say, and like I said, buy you Barbie, and she plays into that. And that's fine. You just got to understand the era that we are in right now. And internet don't play. The internet is undefeated. The only one with a better record than the internet is Father Time. Because you just got to be careful. And I know sometimes she can get a little bit loose with what she say because she's feeling some kind of way. And eventually she going to say something, and that's going to come back to bite her. But you're correct. She did mature a little bit, and she has been a lot better with you say what you got to say, and you keep it moving. Keep it short, keep it sweet, keep it to the point, and move on. Get out of there as soon as you can. So, there's a few more women who have the flair coming out of college in the next few years. We talked about that, Erica. Eric, we talked about Juju. We talked about Toby Fournier. We talked about Malaysia. We talked about Kiki Iriafen, Kiki Rice, Flau'jae. Is Raven Johnson a senior? Is it Raven Johnson? Is she a senior? I can't remember. But her, Hannah Hidalgo, Lauren Betts from UCLA. Yeah, it's a lot of people coming out. A lot of people coming out. So the juice for the WNBA is good for the next 5 years. You have legitimate star power coming out for the next 5 years. And honestly, what they need, and this is where it's going to get ugly. This is where it's going to get ugly because some of the old guard has got to get out. They have to for the betterment of the league. Because just like Jordan, for those of you who remember, just like Jordan, there was a lot of people in the league that didn't like what was going on for Michael Jordan. There was a ton of people that hated that shit. And this is the same situation. So, yeah. Yeah, Flau'jae is going to be there. Like Hidalgo, Ashlyn Watkins, and obviously there's going to be some new people that we just don't know about. So I hope Paige don't go to the Mystics. But, I take that back. I wouldn't mind seeing that because that would put her didn't she play with Aaliyah Edwards? Ain't Aaliyah Edwards from UConn? Toby Fournier. She's not high school no more. She goes to Duke. She'll be a freshman at Duke this year. We'll see. We'll see. They got to get rid of Thibodeau, though. I don't like Thibodeau. I don't think he's a good coach. El Professor with the 199 super chat. I appreciate that, man. This is a good conversation, man. It's been lit. Definitely been lit. Can't stop me. Wheeler and Wallace were Lynn Dunn's contract signing mistakes. Agreed. So she should have dumped them. She won't. Smith barely runs with CC, so she's in the way in the middle. She never gave Berger a shot. Wide keeper. All good points. Although I will say I do like Nalissa Smith because I think Nalissa Smith is the best rebounder on the team, not Aaliyah Boston. I think Nalissa Smith can jump better than most people on that squad. I just don't want her out past the three-point line with the ball with 5 seconds left, trying to rush a shot. That's because that's what it seems like what happens. No. If you're talking about Kiki Iriafen that can dunk, no. I just think that would bring that much more excitement to the WNBA because it's not going to be a regular occurrence. But you will see it enough to pique your interest. When I saw Ashlyn Watkins dunk in high school, and then I saw her dunk, I guess it was her freshman year, her true freshman year at South Carolina. Like, I want to see that. I know it's not going to happen a lot, but I want to see it. And now I know she can do it. So every time there was a fast break for South Carolina, I'm like, where's Ashlyn at? Is she going to get the ball? Are they going to let her dunk? Because you just want to see it because it's a rare thing. But now it's not going to be as rare. And to me, it'll be just enough to make it appealing. It's not going to, you're not going to have people, it ain't going to be no dunk contest in the WNBA All-Star game because you wouldn't have enough people. And then you got the people that's dunking, and what are they going to do besides dunk? They can't rock the cradle, go behind their back. They're not jumping like that. You see what I'm saying? So it tames itself. But I do think it would be a selling point for the WNBA, and I do think it would be on every highlight. Absolutely. As a Caitlin Clark fan, I will agree 100%. Some Caitlin Clark fans can go hardcore. I've been in fights with Caitlin Clark fans, with Iowa fans. And it's like, y'all got to pump your brakes. Every time a comment about Caitlin Clark is not glowing doesn't mean that you hate the girl. It just means in my situation, I've told this story before, Antoine. I was on a Caitlin Clark YouTube group. And this was when she was at Iowa and they had a bad game and they got out rebounded like 32-12 or something like that. And I made a comment about it and people thought I was ripping Caitlin Clark. I was like, did y'all watch the game? And I made the analogy of fans like that are just like parents that don't want you to coach their kid. But them same parents bitch because your kid ain't in the game. That's how I look at it. I saw that video today. I watched that video today, and I agree. Like I said, I watched Adrian Ross's content. She's spot on a lot of stuff. You could say that. Everybody, that would indicate that somehow Diana Taurasi is controlling everybody, and I don't buy that. I think that's more of when you have somebody with that higher profile coming in your league, everybody's out to prove them wrong, and that's natural. That happens in every sport, baseball, football, basketball, hockey. When you got the hot shot coming in that's done, got the big contract, everybody's trying to pull them down a peg. So, I mean, it is what it is. I don't disagree, but I don't think Diana Taurasi is the catalyst for that type of impact. I think that was going to happen anyways, regardless if Diana Taurasi said anything or not. Yeah, I think there's a little bit of that. I think it's a nuanced conversation. It's a little bit of everything. There's a little truth in what everybody's saying, and I think there is resentment, and again, that's natural. That's natural, dude. I say it all the time. Like the minimum salary when I play ball, yeah, in 1993 and 1994. And now they making your minimum salary in the NFL is like 700,000 or something like that. Yeah, you resent that. Because back then when I played, we used to bang and we used to hit and we used to go at it and training camp was hard. And now it's a country club and guardian helmets and you practice for an hour and bring your kids on the field. And, we got a press conference and, bring water ice after practice and all. Like it's a whole different thing. So there's always going to be that. The old guard is always going to be mad and everybody's going to be trying to gun for the next star. Whoever the first pick is, you think they ain't going to go for that person? It's same thing going to happen. So I don't think she overrated because she's been doing it consistently for too long. So now I do think that they've been pumping her up for the Rookie of the Year thing. And for a minute, and I will say this, it was my opinion that before the Olympic break, it was close. I think Angel Reese, and I say that because nobody thought Angel Reese was going to do what she's doing. And nobody thought Caitlin Clark was going to do what she was doing. You got to give it to Caitlin Clark because she's dishing out assists, whereas Angel Reese, she gets rebound and she scores, but she's not responsible for nobody else scoring. She don't have a lot of assists. So I understand that argument. However, the problem was Caitlin Clark was inconsistent. She wasn't shooting very well, and she would have a game where she'd get 15 points, but she was 3 for 10 or 2 for 10 from 3. She didn't have a good shooting night. Angel Reese kept getting double doubles. So it was, for me, it was the consistency of it. And I thought Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark were neck and neck for Rookie of the Year. I thought it was dead even, and it was going to go game for game. Now, since then, Caitlin Clark with the assists, and you always give assists more credence because if you get an assist, that means somebody had to score, so you're responsible for points on the board. Angel Reese, not necessarily. If you get a defensive rebound, you just get your team to possession. Doesn't mean that they went down the court and scored. So the impact, the advantage goes to Caitlin Clark. Up until recently, up until after the break, and up until right at the Olympic break, it was Angel Reese. That week before the Olympic break, Caitlin Clark started getting a little bit more consistent, and she started not trying to fire up all the threes and started passing a lot more. And it was paying dividends. So in my mind, she took the lead a little bit. And then when you come back from break, and then they had that bad game, Chicago has the bad game, and then Angel Reese gets another double-double, but they get beat by 20. So I'm looking at it from that standpoint, and Caitlin Clark goes in the lead because she is causing wins for her team. And I will argue with anybody that Angel Reese is not the best player on Chicago. Kennedy Carter is. Yeah, we got a lot. Paige is going to be good next year, man. Paige is going to be good, but I hope she goes to a team that lets her play, because that's the one thing Christy Sides did. And I don't know if, like, you knew it was going to happen. Caitlin Clark should have been starting from day one. Now, wherever Paige Beckers goes, they got to let her start from day one, because these girls can play. But in the past, you see how Cheryl Reeves is. Some of them rookies don't see no clock. None. You know that's going to happen. They're going to give Paige glowing reviews because she's from UConn. And they're going to ask Diana Taurasi a million times about her and find every other player from UConn and Gino Auriemma and all of that kind of stuff. Because how stupid does, I won't say stupid. No, I will. How stupid does Gino Auriemma look after what he said about Caitlin Clark fans being unrealistic and, you know, she's got a target on her back, all of that stuff that he said. Now, what he said about the fans, I agree with 100%. But that the fans have nothing to do with what Caitlin Clark does on the court. And he should know that as a coach. But he said what he said, get caught up in the hype, and this girl's going to fail, and this. Let him play. Let it play out. Let it play itself out, and it'll be all right, man. It'll be all right. So I'm going to get up out of here, man. We rocked for about an hour, damn near 40 minutes, man. That's what's up. Chat was been lit, man. Chat has been lit. What's up, Dane Haywood? Chicago Sky is keeping Mariah Jefferson and Rachel Bonham. Angel Reese is overrated because she will be MVP and best rookie player because, in my opinion, she's the best. Angel Reese is overrated. Are you Angel Reese is overrated? I don't understand that. Are you? I'm not sure where that's coming. I'm confused. Oh, Chicago. So are you saying Caitlin Clark is overrated? I'm confused. So are you just, putting on for Angel? I get it. Hey, keep Kennedy Carter doing what she's doing. Kennedy Carter is the engine on that team, not Angel Reese, in my opinion. You need somebody to distribute. You need somebody to break down the defense and make sure everybody gets an opportunity to fire up them shots. Losing Mabry was a problem, and that might cost you more than you realize. But business is business. Friends are friends. Don't confuse the two. But I'm going to get up out of here, man. I appreciate the chat has been off the freaking chain. Appreciate everybody. Chris Christie, you coming in late. What's going on with you, dude? Dane, I appreciate you, man. Make sure you subscribe. Don't be a stranger. S-Dub, as usual. Eric Robertson coming in with the heat. The great benefactor. Kev, Eric Robertson, Michael Zayas. Everybody, man, it was hot. Antoine, man, don't be a stranger, man. Keep them opinions coming, bro. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, man. So every time I'm on, I want to see your presence. I appreciate it. Chat was lit tonight. Can't stop me. It can't stop me now. I hear that Freddie Mercury in my head. Nothing can stop me now. Queen. Who else? Kurt Offit. Keep coming with it, Kurt. I want to see you back in the chat on my next stream, man. Make sure you hit that like button because my goal is to go live every night. Every night at 9 o'clock, I'm trying to talk about something. So check my social media. I usually have something on schedule. And I remind everybody this week on Friday, I will be at, if you are in South Jersey area, I will be at Chicky and Pete's in Marlton. We will be having a Philadelphia Eagles alumni get together there. So I will be there. And then Saturday, I will be at the Philadelphia Eagles versus Vikings game. That is the alumni homecoming. So I will be down there, get to walk on the field, all that kind of good stuff. So that shall be a lot of fun. So looking forward to that. And we're going to keep this thing moving, man. You have a great, awesome, phenomenal rest of your week. I appreciate everybody being in this chat, man. Eric, I appreciate the super chat. El Professor, I appreciate the super chat. Keep showing me the love. Eric, my apologies. You don't have a wrench. My apologies, brother. I'm going to remedy that post haste. Give me 1 second. Eric. Where you go? Eric Robson. There you go. Got to get you that wrench, bro. Put you on the squad. Got a permanent spot now, bro. Boom. And there we have it. Give it up for Eric with the wrench. He's officially signed and a member of this team. He made the roster. That's what I'm talking about. So I appreciate you, man. Did I miss anybody else? Probably Linda Moses. Linda, don't be a stranger if you're still listening. Like I say all the time, I'm always looking for female voices on my chat. I got 2 sisters. They would smack me upside the head if it was anything else. Aquaman, keep bringing that heat, bro. Troy, keep bringing that heat. I appreciate y'all, man. Los Dodgers, don't be a stranger. Tell your friends about me. Luis, definitely appreciate you, bro. Luis, don't be a stranger, man. Keep bringing them opinions, man. K-Mill, keep bringing the heat, man. I want to see it. We can talk about it, man. We can have a discussion. I'm old school. I was raised back when you had discussions. It wasn't black or white. It wasn't yes or no. It wasn't my way or the highway. We had discussions about this. I'm old school. We can do that. We can talk about it. All right. I'm going to get up out of here, man. I appreciate you guys. Y'all be safe. And I will see you in the next one. Peace.